And tonight we have live coverage from a local voter's home where several gathered to watch together tonight.
A lot of people watch this. Steve Sebelius is there sitting down with that group of folks there. Steve, how are all of them feeling tonight?
Yeah, hey, Joe and Tricia, we have been watching this debate with a panel that you guys will remember from our last debate, although tonight was a very different debate. We have Laura Martin, Suzette LaGrange, and Patty Farley, who was nice enough to let us use her house for this. So just real quickly, from what you saw, we just got done watching the debate. What's your reaction initially?
Initial reaction, Trump was looking very old, very irritated. We talk to voters a lot every day, and the number one thing we hear from undecided voters, they don't know what Kamala Harris's plans are, and he really missed several opportunities to expand on that. Instead, he just kept bringing up conspiracy theories and petty clapbacks, and just really didn't look presidential. He just looked old and cranky.
Suzette, what do you think?
Kamala Harris did a better job than I expected her to do, but they didn't address the national debt, they didn't address inflation, they didn't address many of the issues that really are facing each and every one of us in the country. So I'm pretty disappointed. Kamala Harris didn't talk about what she has done as vice president. What has she done? We just don't know. And yeah, Donald Trump was definitely, you could see she got under his skin more than she should have. He missed key opportunities. I agree with you.
Patty, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this debate really defined that there's three types of voters. There's going to be Republican, there's going to be Democrat, and then there's going to be the disappointed. And I don't believe that either one of them did much to change the level of disappointment that a segment of voters are going to go to the polls with. And I think both of them had an opportunity to do much better, and both of them failed.
That's a good point. Does anybody here think that somebody watching this debate who hadn't made up their mind would have seen anything or heard anything that would have changed their mind?
That's actually a good question. I mean, I'm not an undecided voter. I'm different because I'm an activist, but I do really think people want to hear about housing. They want, their rents are going up. It's harder to buy groceries. We don't have public transportation, and I don't think either candidate really addressed that. Vice President Harris talked about it a little bit, but just too much of a little bit of pettiness going back and forth and not enough on policy. It'll be interesting how we go from here to October 1st, the vice presidential debate, how they can fill in some of those missing pieces from this debate.
You think anybody's mind was changed?
Yeah, I don't think it swayed the vote one way or the other, quite honestly, and all of that. I think they talked at a very high level where if you think about, giving housing assistance, does that help bring down housing costs? Not one bit. None of the government incentives will help bring down the actual costs of these items.
All right, well, we will have to leave it right there, but we'll hear more later tonight at 11 o'clock. Until then, I'm going to send it back to you, Tricia.